not my life to live. It's not my song to sing. All I have is His for all eternity. It's not my
I'd like to introduce myself. My name is John Brescia, and I'm a member of ColonialPoint. I've been here for maybe 2, maybe 3 years, whatever period of time. I've been a member with doubts and fears, and I've received nothing but encouragement from the church and the people that are here. I had an experience recently that happened. I was never in the best of health. I had cancer, which was prayed for and was gone. I had a heart attack, which the doctor was able to take care of with a stent. He put a stent in, and he requires me every so often to go to him for a checkup. But prior to going to the hospital, I was very scared. It's a very intimidating thing to be the size of people and see how it affects them emotionally and mentally. And I have a niece who goes to the church here, and I have many friends at the church here. And she said, "Uncle, I've had you in for a couple of weeks for prayer." I said, yeah, Kim. In the meantime, I says, I have to go through what I got to go through. So she said to me, would I kindly come to church that Sunday prior to going to the hospital on Monday, where I would be put on the operating table. Jim and a couple of the other elders did an anointment with the oil, and we all prayed together. We stayed together, and we had a nice long prayer. And with the anointing of the oil, it means it's the extra little kick that might be the help that we needed. And the elders were there for me. And Paul, after I finished with them, I went over to thank Paul very much, because I know he's been taking care of my weekly asking for prayer. Sunday, when the doctor got his report, he found out that I had a major blockage in one of my main arteries, total blockage, and 50% in another thing. That's enough to scare any man, and especially when you're getting older, you don't feel you have the power or the strength to do it. And the doctor informed my wife and I that we didn't have much choice about what he had to do. He said, I'm going to have to put you in. He says, we're going to have to go through and give you an angioplasty and an angiogram. And he says, I'll see what I need to get done when I'm in there with the camera. Maybe about 20-25 minutes after I was on the table, you're not put sound asleep. You're put in like a twilight sleep. He looked down into my face. He went, John, he says, I have to tell you something. And I said, what would that be? He says, there's no blockage. Well, come to find out, the doctor says, I'm all done with you. I'm going to close, the wound and plug it off. And there's nothing medically, he says, I could do to make you any better than what you are. Now, I wasn't good when I came in. The camera and the pictures he had showed the blockages. All of a sudden, he's whispering in my ear, there's nothing I could do. Now, if that's not a sign that the prayer did every bit of that doctor's work for him, I don't know what is. And my niece Kimmy, who was in the room, looked at me and immediately began to cry. And she says, Uncle, she says, who do you think did this for you? I've been part of the prayer group here. My name has been mentioned more than one time. And I'm positive, as sure as I'm sitting here, that it's 100% because of the prayers. You gotta have faith, and you gotta go with the prayer group. even though I didn't want to. I went, I'm tickled pink, and I'll never forget the experience I just lived through.